are going to perform our exception handling programs, and I will give you uh, nearly 5 or 6 or 7 programs regarding exception handling, where you are going to perform all kind of exception handling program or sort of exception handling program. One or two tricky program I have also given in that assignment. While you are going to perform the program for the assignment, you are able to understand what kind of tricky example you are going to face. So. Uh, so we were in the last class. We have already I have already shown you in how many ways we can throw exception uh, to handle or detect the exception. If the exception uh, will occur in your program, then we can throw the exception by using throw statement, and these are the various ways by which we can throw the exception from our try block, okay, or from the exception creating zone. And then there will be there may be a multiple catch block if there are multiple exception will occur, or if there is only one exception occur, then there will be only one catch block. Acha. One program that I need to show you. Acha. In last class, I have already shown you that this is a one way of doing a multiple catch exception, and these are multiple catch statements. This program I have already shown you in the last class. Now catch all exceptions. So sometimes it is not possible to anticipate all possible type of exception, and therefore not able to design independent catch handlers to catch them. So in the last class, if you remember, I have told you that there may be some situation where um, you at prior you won't expect that this kind of exception will generate, and you will have to design corresponding catch handlers or catch block to handle that particular exception. It is difficult to understand that this kind of exception will generate. So how many catch blocks or what kind of catch blocks you are going to embed it into your exception handling code, that will be a tricky kind of thing that you will have to understand. So a catch statement can also force to catch all exception instead of a certain type of alone. So there may be another kind of catch statement definition. That is the definition which I have shown in front of you. This is one kind of catch statement definition. Everyone look at the definition very carefully. Catch, then you are not using any argument within it. Instead of that, you are using only 3 dots. Everyone listen very carefully. This is very new in C++. In Java, there is no concept of this kind of universal acceptable catch statement. This concept you can say as a universal acceptable catch statement. That means by the help of this catch statement, you are able to handle any kind of exception without specifying the type of the exception. I repeat again, by the help of this kind of catch statement syntax, you are able to handle any kind of exception without explicitly specifying what kind of exception you are handling. Right. So a catch statement can also force to catch all exception instead of a certain type alone. Okay, this is very important. So instead of specifying any certain type, these are the general catch statement by which you are able to handle any kind of exception. Okay. So in some cases you have seen that in some of the programs, in some of the blogs, they are using this kind of catch statement, and that is special for C++. In Java we cannot use this kind of catch statement. Okay, in Java some other technology is there, but in C++ we can use this kind of catch statement to handle a universal kind of exception. So the same program that I have already shown you in the previous class, that is multiple exception. Okay, this one, this program, multiple catch exception, this one. But instead of giving multiple catches, because we don't know what kind of, suppose we don't know that what kind of exception it will throw. So instead of giving this multiple kind of catches or multiple types of catches, we are giving a general kind of catch statement. Okay, we are giving a general kind of catch statement. How we are giving a general kind of catch statement? By using this kind of syntax. Okay, so let's check it out. So we are given catch statement, three dots. Okay, we have to give three dots. Okay, don't use a dot of your choice. Right, three dots is the syntax of this catch universal catch statement, and within this catch statement, you can print out an exception handling statement, caught an exception. You cannot specify what kind of exception you are catching by the help of this general catch statement. So instead of that, we are just specifying that we have caught an exception, a general exception. It may be an integer exception, it may be a float exception, it may be a character exception, it may be a double exception, any kind of exception it may be. So this is another way of representing or handling a universal kind of exception. Okay, so let's run this code. Which is very slow. It's showing.
Sir, maybe
Achha,
you have to use get ch, like it link within a second.
1 second, 1 second. Okay. Actually, I'm changing the machine today, right? Because I'm not carrying this laptop while I'm in the previous classes. I have used some different laptop because I'm in the university right now, so I'm changing the machine. So that's why this problem I'm facing. So no problem. So it is we can use a get ch. Let me test it. All of you can try it. Okay. The home machine, all of you can try it. No, get stage is not working. In DevTools actually get stage is not supported. Okay. Oh, okay, 1 second. It should be Conaio, not STDIO. Again, get stage is a part of the Conaio, not STDIO. Sorry, but I don't know whether get stage is supported or not. I hope that get stage is not supported. Try it out once again. Yes, yes, it's supported. Okay. So I hope that you have understood this one. The same output you will get. The output you will get for integer exception. This is the output you will get for character type of exception. This is the output you will get for a different kind of exception. You will get the multiple exception you will get, but the statement you cannot specify because you are using a universal catch block. So that's why a common statement you will get as output caught an exception. You will not get output that caught and this kind of exception, caught and this kind of exception. You will not get that output because you are catching that exception with the help of this general catch statement. Is it clear to everyone? Is that concept clear to everyone?
Yes.
Sure. Anyone has any doubt, you can ask me. Is that concept clear to everyone? This is very important concept, okay? This is very important concept because sometimes interview will ask this concept that what will be a universal catch block or what will be the syntax of a universal catch block. This term they may use, universal catch block, or they can use a general catch block by the help of which you can handle multiple different kind of exception without defining multiple catch block. How we can handle it. So then at that time you will have to use this one. So this is the most easy way, or this is the most general way of defining a catch handling statement. So you don't need to worry about what kind of exception your program is throwing. You don't need to worry about what type of argument you are passing as a argument of the catch statement. But the problem is that sometimes as an output you require a specific exception handling statement. Sometimes it will require. Okay. So in that time, this kind of universal catch handler block concept will fail because at that time, as a user requirement or as a requirement of your software, the customer wants that you will have to print a specific kind of exception instead of printing a general kind of exception. Okay, so in those cases, you are not able to use this general kind of catch handling statement. But in other cases, right now you can use it. So in my opinion, you will have to understand both the concept. You will have to know both the concept of how we can use different multiple catch block with different kind of arguments of handling different kind of exception, and the second one that how we can use a general or universal catch handler to handle all kind of exception. Okay, I hope that conception is clear to everyone. Now there is one more concept that how we can rethrowing an exception. That is a very important concept. How we can rethrowing exception. That means rethrowing means what this term suggests. Uh, you have first thrown an exception with the throw keyword, and suppose there may be some another condition where you need to rethrow your exception again. That means after throwing the first time, after throwing the exception, you will handling the exception. Then where you are handling the exception in the same block within the catch block, you are again throwing another exception. So that's why it's called rethrowing an exception. So a handler can rethrow. Look, read the statement. So a handler can rethrow the exception caught without processing it. A handler can rethrow the exception caught without processing it. So handler means the catch block. Here handler represents the catch block. The catch block can rethrow the exception caught without processing it. So this can be done using throw without any arguments. This is very important. This can be done using throw. Same throw keyword we will have to use, but we should not use any kind of arguments after this because we are rethrowing. So for rethrowing an exception, you will have to use throw keyword inside the handler. Handler means inside the catch block where the previous exception was handled, and you will have to use the throw without any arguments. Okay. So here the current exception is thrown to the next enclosing try and catch block. Okay. So every time when an exception is rethrown, it will not be caught by the same catch statements. Rather, it will be caught by the catch statement outside the try catch block. Let's check it out one example. So rethrowing, this is a rethrowing example. Check out the example. The example is very simple. This is a main method. Everyone look at the example very, very carefully. We are rethrowing the exception again. That means first time we will throw the exception, second time we will rethrow the same exception again, but in a different way. How? This is the main method. Within the main method, we have called to system defined function divide. This kind of program, the similar kind of program I have already shown in my first class. Okay, where I have shown how we can create a try catch handling by using a user defined function. The same concept. So within the try block, we have invoke to system defined function, sorry, to user defined function divide, and passing different kind of parameters. Okay, this function has different kind of parameters. This function is also different kind of parameters. Now this try block is followed by a immediate catch block whose exception object is double type. Okay, whose exception object is double type of object, and then we will print some kind of statement. Now let's check it out what this user defined function divide will do. This is a user defined function divide which will take two double type arguments. So obviously from this argument nature or type, you are easily understood that it's a double type of argument, right? So these are double type of receiving variable x and y. Now within this divide block, look, this divide block, when y is equal to 0, when the value of y is equal to 0, then it will throw an exception. That exception object will be y. So in which case it will throw an exception? In this case or this case? In which case it will throw an exception from this definition? What do you understand? In the second case. Very good. In the second case, it will throw the exception. Why? Because in the second case, the y variable value is equivalent to 0.0. Okay. So this is the second case. It will throw the exception. Now else part will do the division. So obviously, this is the concept. This is the same similar concept of division by 0. It will create an exception. So when the y part is 0, then division by 0 is not possible. So it will throw an exception y. And when the y part is non-zero, then the division is possible. So exception will be created for the second function divide, exception will not be created for the first function divide. Okay. Now, within the catch block, look at the catch block very carefully. Within the catch block, we have used a throw keyword. So this is the concept, or this is the place where we actually doing a rethrowing an exception. By using throw keyword without any argument, we are rethrowing the exception. So this catch block or this catch handler is a follower of which try block? This try block. So handle this throw y exception, it will follow this one. So throw y is a double type of exception. That's why the argument type is double. So it will throw another exception. So can anyone tell me which catch block is responsible to handle this rethrowing exception in this program? Which catch block is responsible
main.
of handling? Yes, very good. This main catch block, this catch block. So don't get it confused. This divide function will throw an exception, which is a double type, a float type, whatever I will say, divided by 0. So that exception will be handled by this catch block. Why? Because the divide function, within divide function, this try block is used to throw the exception y, and that will be handled by the immediate catch block. Immediate follower catch block. And this is the immediate follower catch block of this try block. So this catch block or catch handler is responsible to handling this kind of exception. But within this catch block, we have seen that another exception is rethrowing, that is throw. And this rethrowing exception throw will be handled by the main catch block. Why? Because this try block will generate the error, the exception, and this will be responsible to handling the rethrowing the same exception. So it may be possible in some situation you will need to rethrow the exception. Okay, throwing an exception again and again. Okay, so from one catch handler you will throw another exception. So it is possible in some situation. So in those cases you are able to do, or you are able to rethrowing the exception by using this throw keyword. So if we run this code, so it will not run again. So we'll have to use this honor.h. Okay. And we'll use get ch here. Okay. So your exception is clearly handling here. So inside the main function, so it will first execute the main block. Then we are inside the function division equal to 5.2. This is the execution of the first division function. Successful execution, right? Because y is not 0 here. So division by 0, exception will not throwing for the first divide function. Now again, we are inside the function, a divide function, because the second divide function will call, and for the second divide function it will generate an exception because y is 0.0 is equal to 0.0. So it will create an exception, a double inside the function. So this one got double inside the function. Okay, it will generate this exception. Now within this catch handler there will be another throw of exception. So throwing exception from a catch handler again. So rethrowing an exception. So from that again it will catch by and catch block of the main one. This one double inside the main function. Look, double inside the main function, and then end of whatever statement you are going to execute it after this try and catch. It will execute it smoothly. Clear? Is it clear to everyone? Anyone has any confusion in this program? This program is very important. How we can rethrowing an exception. Throwing an exception from another catch handler. Okay, the question may be coming in different way. How we can throw an exception from another catch handler. So it is equivalent to rethrowing an exception. Or the question may be given that can we throw an exception without passing any argument along with the throw keyword? Yes, the answer will be yes. And how we can do that? By using rethrowing the exception without passing any argument along with the throw keyword. Is it clear to everyone? Anyone has any confusion, any doubt? Is it clear to everyone? Anyone has any confusion, any doubt? Any problem? Hello? Is it clear, right?
No, sir. Clear.
Oh, very good. So everyone, please practice all these programs. Okay. So in tomorrow's lab, I am going to give you the assignment. So today we will stop our lecture here.